Hi everyone, welcome back to the mat. Today I've got a practice that's a little bit different. We're going to do another Yin Yoga class. So for those of you who've never practiced Yin before, I'll put a little bit more of a description down below so you can follow along with a bit more information in it. It's a very passive practice. So the idea in Yin is that we're actually not using the muscles. We're completely relaxing the muscles to sink into the postures. And we stay in the postures in a static position without moving for anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes. Today we'll probably do it around about 3.5, maybe 4. And you're finding your point in the posture. So the idea is, and I keep calling it the Goldilocks rule, so you don't want to feel too much sensation in the posture, but you don't want to feel nothing, if that even makes sense in English or Spanglish. You want to be able to feel a little bit of something without pushing yourself past your edge. So you just want to play with that. It takes a little bit getting used to as you go through the Yin Yoga practice, but don't worry about it. The more you practice, the better you get at it, and the better you get to know your body as well. And the benefits of Yin Yoga are, there's a lot of information on it that I could go into, but I'm not going to bog you guys down in the intro video. But it's got a connection to traditional Chinese medicine. So we're working with the meridians or the energy channels in the body. So the same that you would use in acupuncture or in a shiatsu practice, for example. And there is a strong relationship with the emotional and physical parts of the body according to traditional Chinese medicine. So there'll be a lot of benefits on an emotional as well as physical level as we go through the practice. And also this is really, really great practice for people, anyone that's suffering from stress, anxiety, because we're activating the parasympathetic nervous system. So our rest and digest, instead of being in a practice that's super active, we're allowing ourselves to calm down. And we also work really deep within the body here. So it's one of the only ways that you can actually work with the connective tissue, the fascia, and the ligaments in such a deep way. By putting this regenerative stress on the body in these poses, we're allowing more fluids, blood, all the nutrients to get to those areas as we move into the counter postures. That was definitely Spanglish, the counter postures after every posture that we go through. So yeah, tons of benefits. This is why I absolutely love Yin. And today we're going to do a practice that is for you guys that are in the summer season at the moment. So this is going to be working on the meridian pairs of the heart and the small intestine. And I'll put more info below because it's not just for those people that are in summer at the moment. There are a lot of benefits that you can get from this practice, no matter where you are in the world and what the season is. I would say for the practice, wear something comfy. Make sure that you keep warm even in summer because the temperature of the body is going to drop as you go through the Yin practice. And we're going to use props in all of the postures. So if you're practicing at home like me, use cushions, a blanket, have them all ready and off to the side so we can begin the practice. And we're just going to begin in a seated position, whichever version you choose. And gently allow yourself to close your eyes. Feel that your spine is long, gently drawing the chin in towards the chest. And starting to relax the muscles of the body, beginning with the face, relaxing the forehead, the muscles around the eyes, relaxing the cheeks, relax the jaw, relax the tongue inside the mouth, relax your shoulders, letting your elbows hang heavy towards the ground. Relax your wrists, fingers. Relax your hips, knees, ankles and toes. every breath to gently lengthen, settling into its natural, relaxed rhythm. In and out through the nose. And then gently open your eyes and we'll come into our first posture. So starting on all fours is the easiest way to get into this. And then we're going to take a step forward with the left leg. So allowing the left knee to be above the left ankle. You can play with the back leg here. So you can move it a little bit further away, bring it a little bit closer, find what feels good. Depending on the type of floor you've got and how sensitive your knees are, you always have the option to bring a blanket underneath that back knee. And from here, we're just going to bring our forearms to rest on top of the thigh. So check in, see if this feels comfortable. If you find that you can't relax into it, you can bring an extra bit of support, maybe a pillow on top of the thigh. Relaxing the head and the neck here. So we're going to stay here in this posture for about 3.5 minutes. I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes. And just start to tune into the body in this posture. Keep allowing your breath to be long and steady and smooth. And notice any areas of the body that you're holding on. If there's tension in the muscles, just gently allow yourself to release it. Letting gravity do the work in these postures. Noticing where you can feel the sensation in the posture. And continually checking in, being aware of the level of that sensation. If it ever becomes too much, you've got the opportunity to change. You might want to bring the back knee a little bit closer. You might want to rise the torso up a little bit higher. And settle back into the posture. You might feel a slight wobble in this position with your body. Don't worry about it. Just allow it to happen. Try not to resist it or fight against it. And just keep trying to allow your body to relax. And then very gently on the next inhalation, rising up in the torso, you can move the support away. We're going to then bend the left knee, walk the left foot over to the right, and then come all the way down here. So I'm going to take the back blanket out of the way as well, allowing the back leg to extend, coming into what's called sleeping swan posture. It's quite similar to the pigeon posture in other yoga practice, but the difference here is that the muscles are relaxed, so you're not holding on. So from here, just check in with how you're feeling with the front knee. You can take the knee a little bit further to the left. You can bring it a little bit more in front of you. Just find the version that allows you to feel more comfortable here. And then we're gently going to sink the torso down. So here is where you can bring all of your support in again. You might want to just stay here on your forearms, allowing your head to bow. Or you can bring in a couple of cushions and a blanket and hug them. So you can allow the whole weight of your body to just sink into the mat. We're going to stay here for another 3 minutes. Continuing to pay attention to those sensations in the body, remembering that if at any time they're too much, you can change the angle of your left knee. Maybe draw the left foot closer in towards the groin. We'll lengthen the knee a little bit further out in front and settle back into the posture. Feeling this on the external part of the left hip. Allow your toes to relax. Feet, ankles. Gently on your next inhalation, rising up through the torso, moving the support out of the way. Plant the hands, and we're gently going to step back into downward dog, keeping it really soft here. You can bend the knees if you need to. Just finding length through the legs, lifting up the hips. And lower the knees to the ground. We're going to go through the same sequence on the other side. So get some support under your back knee if you need it. So left knee stays on the ground, right leg comes forward. Right knee over the right ankle. When you move to the other side, you might notice that there's a difference. Maybe you don't need the same type of support that you needed. Maybe you need a little bit more. So just keep tuning into the body. And we're going to be here for our 3.5 minutes. Noticing how this right side is different from the left. On your next inhalation, gently rising up, moving any of the support out of the way. Bend the right knee, taking the right foot over to the side of the mat and lowering down. And here you've got a chance to play with the angle. So bringing your right foot closer to the groin, right knee can be angled more in front of you, or it can open out to the right side of the mat. So finding your variation, finding what you need on this side of the body. Gently come down onto your hands first. From there you can probably check in a little bit more easily with what you need in that right leg. Lowering down to the forearms and coming into your position on this side. So grabbing a pillow and a blanket if you need, hugging them and allowing the weight of the body to settle in on this side. Noticing how this side feels differently. Continuing to release tension. Moving on your inhalation and lifting up through the torso. Move the support out the way. Plant the hands and gently coming up into downward dog. Soft and gentle, just lengthening. And lower the knees to the ground. We're going to come over onto our back. Rolling back, hugging the knees into center. From here, roll the knees over to the left-hand side. And we're going to take the left knee forward and bring the right knee back. So the knee that's on top of the body is moving forwards, and the knee that is below the body is moving back. In fact, it actually turns out to be the foot that's below the body. So your left foot is moving back. Now, if you can take hold of it with your right hand, you can gently bring that right foot a little bit further back. And then release it. And now we're going to come up onto our left elbow. And from here, supporting the torso. And again, taking hold of that right foot. And see if you can relax here into the pose. And relaxing the back of the neck. This one feels a little bit strange. You can change the angle if you've got tension in the lower back, so you can bring that left foot a little bit closer to the midline, or you can lower your body onto the mat as well. So from here we're going to be in the position for our 3.5 minutes. If you feel any tension in the cervical spine or in the neck, then you can take the opportunity to lower down. Maybe bringing your elbow to the floor, creating a support with your right palm. sensation, letting go of your left foot, bringing the knees both back to the midline, rolling onto your back. You're going to walk the feet towards the edge of the mat and just allow the knees to fall in towards each other, resting against each other. Bring your hands to your lower belly and just stay here for a few breaths. Noticing the sensations in the body in the counter pose. And then again, bring your knees close to your chest, and this time drop them over to the right hand side, allowing your top knee to stay forward and bringing your right leg back, taking hold of your right foot. You might want to come on up to your forearm or allow your right elbow to rest on the mat, creating a support for your head. Finding that right distance between the two legs on the mat. And we're going to stay here on this side for our 3.5 minutes. Posture feels awkward for you, just make sure that you're not feeling any sense of pain or any sharp sensations, and just allow yourself to gently relax. Letting go, letting gravity do the work. next inhalation, draw your knees back to the midline. Roll over onto your back, walking the feet to the edge of the mat. Knees falling in towards each other, resting against each other. Hands on the lower belly. And then hug your knees into your center. We're going to roll over to one side to come up into a seated position. So we're going to be sitting on our knees, or on our heels, I guess. So coming into this version of the posture. And this posture, saddle posture or half saddle that we're going to do, is one of the most postures that you need to vary the most depending on each person's body, I would say. So I'm going to give you a few options. First of all, you can take your left heel a little bit to the side of your left glute and just feel how that feels. If you've got any sensation in your knee, then bring it back underneath your left glute and you can stay there. We're going to plant the right foot on the floor and we're going to be rolling backwards in the spine. So I'm just going to take all of the support because depending on your body, you're going to need more or less support. So I'm going to start with more, building up the cushions behind. Allow your hands to walk gently back. And rest here. If your knee lifts up off the ground, don't worry, that's fine. Again, that depends on your individual body. So you can either stay here or you can bring your elbows down to the floor. If you've got your elbows on the floor, make sure that your head is also supported here. So you might want to build up an extra support, or you can bring your chin towards your chest just to hold it there. So I'm actually going to steal one more support just for me, for my head. If your posture is actually just here up on your hands, then that's also completely fine. That's where we're going to be hanging out for a few minutes. So calming gently into your posture. If you have got support behind your body, you can allow the weight of your body to sink into them, or keep pressing into your forearms, depending on that sensation that you're feeling across the front left thigh. Making sure that the sensation is not too much. And as the sensation changes, shifts and adapts while you're in the posture, then just be aware that you can either sink a little bit deeper, or if you've pushed yourself a little bit too far, you can always come back up. Keep breathing. Always respecting the limits of your body in this moment. gently on your next inhalation, use your hands to lift the torso up. Roll over to the right side. Lengthen that left leg. Lengthen the right leg. You might want to massage them a little bit. Moving the ankles. And then we're going to come into that version on the right hand side. So, sitting on your knees, on your heels, finding the right angle with your right foot, whether the heel is just off to the side of the right glute or just underneath the glute. Plant the left foot on the floor. And then gently walking back with your hands. Respect the difference on this side of your body. You might not be able to come down so far. This might be where you are today, or this might be where you begin the posture, and you can always sink a little bit deeper. Using the support to help you relax as much as possible into the posture here. And we're going to be here for our 3.5 minutes on this side. Gently inhaling, using your hands to press the torso up. Roll over onto your left glute. Extend the right leg. Extend the left leg. Massaging the calves into the floor. And then we're going to come into our second last posture before Shavasana. So this one is actually going to be using a wall. So if you need to pause, maybe you need to go into your room, even into your bedroom. If you can put your legs up the wall, maybe from your bed. And we're going to come into this position. It's always easiest to get in by scooching the side of your glutes up against the wall. And then allowing your back to rest against the floor. Legs, heels pressing into the wall. Allowing your legs to separate however much they want to. And just relaxing here. Letting the weight of the whole body sink into the floor. And gently bend your knees, plant your feet against the wall. Allow your knees to roll all the way over to one side. And gently bring yourself back up to come into the last posture, coming into Shavasana. So for a yin version of Shavasana, I'm going to keep one of the pillows and use it underneath my knees, allowing the legs to separate. Grab my blanket, rolling the body back down to the mat, keeping the body warm with the blanket, keeping comfortable, allowing the arms to separate from the body, palms facing the ceiling, or they can be resting on your belly. Letting all the weight of your body sink into the floor. Tuning into the sensations in the body. Feeling the effect of the practice. Continuing to notice if any of the muscles are holding any tension. Releasing it with your exhalation. Allowing yourself to completely do nothing but enjoy this final posture. Slowly starting to move your fingers and your toes. Rocking your head from side to side. Hugging your knees in towards your chest. And rolling the body all the way over to the left-hand side. From here, gently coming back up into your seated position. Keeping your eyes closed. Taking a long, deep inhale. And a long and steady exhale. Gently open your eyes, coming back into the room. Namaste.